Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and today we are going to do a tutorial for this Country Craft Creations design team project. I know that I am behind on getting you guys the tutorials, so we are going to play some catch up. But this is a little four and a half. Yeah, 4.5 by 7 waterfall album folio something. And I built this around the, let me grab one for you guys real quick. And I do apologize if you can hear my fan, but it is July 2023 and I'm melting over here in Washington State, and we are only at like 90 degrees where everyone else is above 100, and I don't know how you guys are surviving, so hopefully everybody's okay. But so I have to have my fan on because with these lights I will melt away. So I designed this around this kind of cut apart signature page that Simple Stories does, and you will have to look at yours and just kind of pre-look because sometimes these are different sizes, so you might have to just adjust the measurements on the waterfall piece. But we are going to go ahead and get started, and I'll just do a quick little flip through again so you guys can see. This is where I wanted to use those cut aparts, so it's nice little journal moments, and then you can do photos. So journal, 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 photos, photos. I just thought it was really cute. I've been wanting to do something with that page for a really long time, and I might try something different. And then this opens up like so. I do have magnets in here, so if you want magnets you can, you don't have to. And then I did use this seam binding on this project, and this was using Simple Stories Simple Vintage Berry Fields, and I will link because Country Craft Creations finally got more in. So if you wanted to get some more pieces or you never got a chance to get it, I will have this collection linked. But again, on this side we have more waterfall moments, so you can fit roughly 30 photos in here. Again, it just depends upon the size. But yeah, so we are just gonna go ahead and get started. Now, I did prep some things to try to get this video to go faster, just because I'm gonna tuck this right here. Just because I have a lot of folios to get through, not folios, tutorials. So we will start with, which I already started, with our cover. So let me get out my handy dandy little Country Craft Creations design team book that Miss Anne Marie gifted me. It's so fun and I love it. So this is what I do. What I love about it is it's journal style, and when I fill this up I could just pull these out and put another one in. So I don't know why I shared that with you guys, but mostly because I just love this little book. So I just had to show you. But what we are going to start with is 2 pieces of chipboard that are 4.5 by 7, and then one for the spine that is 1 by 7. I used 1 piece of cardstock to cover the chipboard, and it is, what is it, 9 by 12? Yeah, 9 by 12, just make sure, yep. And if you only have like 8.5 by 11, you still can do that. You can have a 1/2 inch on each side if you want to, and you can see that this is already a little less than that because this is like 5/8 of an inch on this side. It doesn't matter, as long as you can get it to wrap around, you are good to go. So I just place them, as you can see here. Again, there's lots of tutorials on how to do a cover, so we will just get this going. I use some score tape, and I need to try to remember to link that in the description box just so you guys can see all the tools and supplies that I use. And I think she might be out of a 1/4 inch tape. I can't remember, but whatever she has, I will link it. And let's take that off. And we are gonna get this stuck down. I am still gonna use my art glitter glue adhesive. Okay, so I've already gone through and I have, worked my paper so that I've loosened the fibers up a little bit. But I'm just going to add a bead of glue in here up against the spine. I just like it to be a nice little tight fit. Then I press my chipboard down into that glue, bend around. And I have to be careful because I don't want my tape to stick to my paper. So I'm gonna adhere that down, so give it a good burnish. Come through, get that edge so it's nice and crisp. Oh, I'll just wait a second on that. Man, I feel like it's been a minute since I've made a tutorial. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so again, push down in and around. And we're gonna burnish. Come around the side. There we go. Now you come around, kind of just push in that little excess paper, add a bead of glue. And if you're new to my channel, sorry, with tutorials, this desk, it does shake the camera. So every little thing I do shakes the camera. Ooh, that was a close cut. Look how close that is. Okay. Then we will do this side. Tuck, 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 tuck. This one might be close too. Let me just do a little, yeah, it's really tight. There might be a little bit of gapping in there. But we're just gonna roll with it. It'll be fine. Push down and around. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I cut my corners a little too close, but again, you're not going to notice this once all of the papers are on. I'm not even going to sweat this one. Normally, if I cut it too close, I would put another piece of paper under that, the little corner that I chopped off, but I cut these a long time ago, and I just don't feel like doing it. I could also come in with a white gel pen once this dries and get in there. So again, I'm not sweating it. It all turns out fine in the end. And I'm sorry, I have greasy fingers because I did put lotion on right before I started. So, okay. There we go. That is the base to the album. Now, let's cover our spine. I just grabbed a scrap from what I had left over. You could do this whole thing if you want to. I'm just going to do a little piece. So the scrap that I had left on the table was 3.5 wide, and then I cut it to 6 7/8. I'm just going to do a quick little dry fit there. Yep, I like it. And I did a little post-it note because I did one of these and wrote on there, which will show on the spine, so that was silly. So I'm going to take my adhesive off, and I want to say that this is Country Craft Creations Linen Antique Gray cardstock. I'm pretty sure. I love this color, and I don't know why I cannot remember exactly the name, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. It is one of my faves. And I'm stuck. I just want to get it a little bit more centered. top to bottom. And then just adhere that down, give it a good burnish on this. It's very important this has a really good burnish around the actual like spine and where we're about to bend it. So I just come in and kind of press it all in. Don't go too hard because then you will poke through. It's just guiding it to go in there, and then we have that. And then I do like to, I don't do it all the time, most of the time. I like to come in and just kind of smooth this out. It just feels a little bit more polished. Okay, so now we have our base. So let's get going on the pages. We are gonna start with, I have a lot of fingerprints everywhere. Whew. Okay, hold on, I can't take that. Let me get my alcohol. Okay, try to see if I can get some of that off because there are lotion fingerprint. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, and yes, you can see it. It's gross. Ew. Okay. So let's start with the right side. And I'm gonna give you guys like a couple different options of how to do this project. Because I was working, you know, doing it, and then I, you know, along the way I would have did something different. So I'm gonna show you guys, you know, different options basically. So this, can you guys see? I can't see. This is going to go on the right side, so you need one piece that is 3 1/4 by 12, and we're going to come in scoreboard. I do have it pre-scored, but just so you guys can see. So we are going to come in here and there we go, and score at 4 1/4, and then 8 3/4. So that's what that measurement is, just like that. And then when you get done with all your big cutting, there's going to be little scraps, and I have 2 pieces that are 1 inch by, what is this? This is something, 6 3/4. And then you just come in and you score it at a 1/2 inch. This is going to be a hinge. So it's going to be the hinge for this. And this is the one thing I'm going to give you a different option if you don't want to do yours like this. And there's actually, I'm trying to think, no, this, yeah, there's only 2. And then another piece that is 1 inch by 4 1/2. I did it just a little bit less than 4 1/2 so that it folds up nicely. And then again, you score at a 1/2 inch. So that's going to be these 3 pieces. I'm going to go through just the right side of what you need to have so we can kind of get the right side going. And then you will need one piece that is 3 1/4 by 7 1/4, and all these we score a 1/2 inch at the top. Okay. One piece that is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. One piece that is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. One piece that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then one piece that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And again, I can't stress this enough. These are the pieces that you want to actually see. Will that fit any of my pieces? So like this one, nope. See, you would have to, if you wanted this little square, you would have to shave off a little bit, or these are just singles. But you have to come in and just double check these. So let's see if there's any that actually fits any of these. I think this is like a totally different size. This one would fit. Just so you guys can see, like this one here, yeah, would fit. Maybe, nope, not that one. So you do have to look at your paper, or you can just do this and put whatever collection on here that you want. You don't have to use simple stories. It's just what I was wanting to challenge myself to do. So like on this one, I would want the whole thing, and I would shave off a little bit so it would fit this. But I love simple stories, if you guys don't already know that. And so I just wanted to be able to use that sheet a little differently, because I'm never, not that I'm never able to, but I always get the 3x4 cut aparts and stuff. So just as an option. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with, should have brought my mat over. So we're just going to fold both sides in. Just kind of look at it, make sure you're even. Okay. Fold that in. And we're going to give it a little dry fit. Make sure that it fits on our base. And I brought it all the way down to the bottom to leave room up top for my tag. We're going to come all the way over. Yep, okay, that will work. So just double checking in case I need to make any adjustments. And then we're going to do our hinges. So we are going to fold this in half. Burnish. Like so. And then I'm just going to miter my corners just a little bit. Just coming in, punching that together and angling it a little. You don't have to do this step. I just was always taught to do it, so I guess I just do it. I don't like seeing like extra seams as well, so I do like that it's hidden a little bit. And then this one is going to be our bottom. So this is what's going to attach this pocket so that we get the full pocket width. And it is like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning, so I don't know if I'm even speaking clearly. But it's just nice, everybody's, well, my husband's the only one here, and he's knocked out. So it's nice and quiet. So I like to take advantage of that while crafting. Okay, so I'm going to put the bottom on first, but I do want to dry fit. Okay, so that is going to go on like that, and I might shave more off because, if I remember correctly, yeah, these go all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to take more off this. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to. I just don't want to have all the extra bulk. So I'm coming in and taking off a good chunk. Because I just need this to be in between our little doodad, just like that. So I'm just dry fitting again. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to center this. I will add a bead of glue. I need to see if she has more of these blue tips. And because I do love it. And I know everyone's been kind of waiting for it to come. So I'm just eyeballing the bottom. Let me make sure that is the bottom. Yes. Okay, coming in down here. Again, just eyeballing the center. Like so. Okay, now I want to see, because I might want to miter this. I just don't want there to be a lot of bulk, so I am going to angle this one. Did I even cut this one? Barely. Okay, so there we go. And it does not have to be like fully down here. There's a little gap. That is okay. That is not, we're not putting sequins in here. It's not like a shaker. Okay, I think this one is somewhat fine. Might take off just a little bit. Okay, and then just, again, you guys can leave this one as is when we first cut it, or I cut mine down to about 4 inches. Get out of the way, peeps. Okay, so I'm just going to come up to the top, and I'm all the way over to the edge. It's hard to see with this shadow. Okay, that's good. So like that, just going to peel back. Like so. This is just to give us enough room for that tag that we're going to do. But I am going to, once we put this pocket together, before we do the waterfall, I'm going to give you guys just another option. I'll do that the other way. If you don't want to do these extra pieces. At least I think that's what I cut. I cut this so long ago to do the tutorial. Sometimes you forget what your project is. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm good. Now I'm going to burnish. How are you guys doing in that heat? Ugh, it is disgusting. I could not do it. Could not do it. Okay, so we're going to put this on. It'll go, again, I go all the way over to the edge, line up with the edge, give enough space there. Again, this is a dry fit method, and then I'm coming all the way down to the bottom. So I do, yep, okay, we're good. So all the way down to the bottom, like that. That's what that would look like. There's like a little sliver of which one? This paper. I don't like seeing it. It is literally a speck, but I have issues. And I'm just doing it to make sure I don't cut off or cut into my actual pocket. Okay, so here's your option. I don't know why I did that, but okay, this is a mess. Like, get your stuff together, Tiffany. Goodness, I didn't bring a trash can over here, nothing. Okay, so this is a second way you could do it. So you could do, and you probably can't even see that, but 5 1/4 by 7, no, 5 1/2 by 7 1/4. Let me just make sure. Yep, 5 1/2 by 7 1/4, and then score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And I'm just gonna, this is just a practice one. Terrible fold job, Tiffany. Okay, so you have that. So you could just glue now this piece down. And again, I didn't do it this way originally because I was expecting to do something else and not have like this pocket behind, but that's how you could do that. And then you could have a second piece that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Score at 1/2 inch on the 4 3/4 side. That will give us our large flap. So it will go down like that, just like that. And then this one, which is the flap that's on the right of it, 3 3/4 by 6 3/4. And score at 1/2 inch, and it would look like this. So you would glue all that down. And it still will do the same thing. It just eliminates the step of adding the gussets, which I had to do in the original design because I don't plan my stuff out. I just wing it. So we're just going to go ahead and stick this down. Probably should have did the bottom first, but it's okay. I'm just all over the place tonight, or this morning, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so again, let's do the bottom. Okay, so I'm just lining up my corner first, getting that on there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I always check it before I really burnish it into place. And now we have a large pocket. This really is a simple album to do. Now, here's another option. So when I did this, I didn't actually need to do this extra flap here because you see I have just now a loose thing. So when I was building it, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have did this one. And then I was going to turn this one into a pocket and just glue it on 3 sides, and then I'd have a pocket, but I was like, we're just going to go with it. So you don't have to have this one because you would still have this same look because of the base under here. But again, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did this one. You can decide what you want to do. So we're going to come in and on that score line, give it a good burnish on all of them. Just come in. I feel like my bone folder isn't creasing things very well. It's like getting dull. Had it for a really long time. Okay, sorry about that. And I'm just gonna glue these down. So we're gonna do the big one first. That is 3 1/4 by 7 1/4, and you don't have to miter these corners. Just get some glue on there and come in and make sure that it is not going over the edge this way. That's more important than this way because you can always trim on the open end versus, well, they're both open, so it doesn't really matter, but you just don't want to mess with your fold. So there's our first one. We're just going to build it on top, so just keep stacking. It's a stacked waterfall. And there's different ways to have a stacked waterfall, but that's what we're doing today. Again, just kind of looking, make sure. It's hard to see when you have the light paper. And you could build it off of the book. I'm just doing it for the tutorial. That is what I would do just to make sure I have it all lined up nicely, and then I would put the whole thing on at once. And it gives you a better chance to fix any excess paper. Ugh, that camera. Okay. It's so hot. I can't even complain. I need to stop at Tiffany because I know some of you guys are really hurting out there. Okay. And then, I don't know why I keep going off right there, but I do. our last little one. Okay, so there we go. That is what that looks like. Now you could put your magnet, where's my pencil? Right here if you want to, or if you want this to be a tie closure, you can, you know, put your ribbon on and do that. I try to mark mine before I start doing decorative paper so I don't forget that I want to have a magnet, you know. And I was going to do a tie closure. Oops, my low battery came on. I really hope it's still filming. I'm a tie closure this way, but I forgot to do it. So it works. It's still heavy enough because of the weight of everything I have on it, so it's fine. And then the inside pocket is just with a piece of scrap paper. So I just glued it on 3 sides right there. You could do a pocket with a gusset if you want to. And then for the tags, those 2 pieces are 4 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then I just rounded my bottom corners with my corner punch. Where is it? I'm sure everybody has one. I know I did. It's right in front of my face, you guys. If Tamara has this back in stock, I will list it. I don't know if she does. And then I did my corner chompers on these corners, but you could just take a triangle off and then flip it to get it even on the other side and cut that. But you'll need 2 of those, or you don't have to do this at all. I just like the tag look. Okay, now this side. We're gonna go through everything we need, so set this aside for a second. Let's get our scoreboard back out. Okay, so for the base of that left pocket is 5 1/2 by 7 1/4, and we come in, I gotta adjust my lights. Okay, come in and score at a 1/2 inch on all 3 sides. So I do a 1/2 inch. You could do it at 5 or turn it and do a 1/2 inch and then turn it again and get that 1/2 inch at the bottom. So you have that piece is the base. And then for the top flaps, you have 1 piece that is 4 1/2 by 7 1/2, and we're going to turn it here on the 7 1/2 and score it at a 1/2 inch, and then 3/4 of an inch. That gives us a nice little gusset when we fill up the waterfalls. This piece, oops, sorry, is 3 1/4 by 5. Score at a 1/2 inch on the 5 side, 1/2 inch, and then again 3/4 of an inch. This is this part right here, these 2 pieces. So set those aside. And then for our waterfall that is under that, here is the base piece of the waterfall. So 4 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then we're going to score it a 1/2 inch on the 6 3/4 side. So just like that. And then 4 of these. So you need 4 pieces, and it gives us a 4 by 4 photo spot. So they are 4 1/4 by 4 3/4, and on the 4 3/4 side, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's do that. We are almost done. If Tiffany doesn't ruin something, because you know I do sometimes. So we're just going to miter these corners. And you can use glue, you can use score tape like I have. And I just come through, and I'm just coming through and cutting where all the lines meet. Some people like to angle it. I just find, I don't know. I do it different every time. I just go what is in the moment. So we're going to fold all these, and then we'll give it a good burnish. And dry fit before we take our adhesive backings off. like so. And then let's just do the other ones real quick. So miter the corner. So on this one, do not go at that first score line. Not all the way through the second one. Then this one, that first score line, there's only one. I don't know why I said first. But now this one will be the first score line from the top. Miter. Okay. And then the waterfalls stay, so we don't have to miter those. Let's go ahead. Trying to see what I want to do. Let's just go ahead and fold all these. So I'm going to fold this down. I always find when you have two score lines, like at a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch, really close, to do the last one first is easier for me. And that could just be my thing, so I do the last one first, or bottom one, whatever you want to call it. Then I come back in and do the other. Okay, so we have those. Let's just build our waterfall really quick. I know, I'm all over the place. I just want to get all the burnishing done. And then just make sure this all will fit nicely before we get it on there. Doing a dry fit is very important. The more you take time to just make sure you have the measurements right, that things fit and don't impede on your album folding up, the better you will be, just saying. Okay, so I'm going to put the top one on first. I mean, it probably is like 2 in the morning, and I feel like, I have like a bead of sweat on my lip. It's a little moist up in here. And I hate that word, by the way. It's disgusting. Moist. Ugh. And I did put that on a little. I have a little sliver, but I could adjust that. Not adjust it, but trim it if it really bothers me. But right now it does not. Okay. So just want to get that on there. So I just bumped it up to the bottom for those that don't know how to do a waterfall, or if you're a beginner. Oh, just a mess over here. So I'm bumping it up to the bottom and then kind of eyeballing everything before I press down. And this is why I like to have a base, to make sure that I don't have any gaps or anything. And if you get yours on crooked, it's okay. Just trim things up a little bit. It is fine. Okay, so we have that. And so I'm bumping it up, but now I am getting things matched up before I press the sticky side down. So just like so. Okay, so now we have our main base here. So let's get that pocket, that large base pocket on. So we have this piece. And typically I will do the bottom first and tape it down But we're fine. We're gonna hurry up before my battery dies. That's what we're gonna do. Because that will not be good. Okay, so getting this corner on first, but also looking at the edge. Just make sure. I know that freaks everybody out. Ooh, 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 and my corners got covered up because of our large pockets. Hee hee. Score. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, we're just sticking this down. Just stick it down, Tiffany. I don't care. I'm a little crooked. I'm a lot crooked. Oh my gosh, I kind of care. That's gonna bug me. It's really gonna bug me. Hold on. Hold please. Okay. You guys know I can do this. Do it all the time. It freaks everybody out. It's okay if I peel up a little paper. Nobody's gonna see that, but I can't have it that crooked. So let's just get a little bit of glue on here. So I have a little bit of time to work it. Because I cannot see. You guys know now I'm like blind, especially at night. Okay, let's try this again. I need to pay attention and focus. Okay, that's better. Looks weird. Okay, now let's get our large flappy do. We're gonna stick that down first. Oh, let me dry fit, make sure I fit. Yes, I do. It's hard to see it on this gray, I know. But even if like this was too long, I could trim off the bottom. Okay. Now let's crease it back into place. So it has that little gusset. Let's get our lower little boo-boo. I'm really scared my battery's gonna die. Okay, so I'm just again eyeballing kind of the center. Somebody had commented how I get things so straight and centered. I do not. Ever. Like, I'm glad you guys, it looks different on screen. But no, it is definitely not perfect on there. Okay, so now take your whole waterfall mechanism. Let's just leave a little on there so I can maneuver. And I'm just gonna come up to the top here. And again, this is smaller than, let me see, it's like a 1/4 inch smaller. Yeah, so you have a little bit of leeway on both sides, like 1/8 of an inch. How am I doing the sticky side down first? So you gotta make sure you don't go above that score mark. And stick that down. And there you go. That is done. That is the project. So it goes like that, and then you have this side that is like that. Try to get this all out of the way. And that whole time my glue was open, just saying. And now I've actually lost my little pin somewhere. I know it's like right in front of my face because I've never lost a pin. Ever, ever, ever. It will turn up somewhere. It is somewhere right here. Okay, but there you guys go. Let me grab my 2 little tags. They just go in the back so. And it'll go down further. You just gotta play with it. Once you get going, it gets in there good. Like so. Done. Voila. Thank you guys so much for being so patient. I really appreciate it. You guys know I have a lot of craziness at work happening this summer, and just with 4th of July, and yeah, there's just been some crazy things happening. So I will have more tutorials coming up for you guys, but I do have another visit in 2 weeks, so July might be our month for Christmas in July. Not July, August. August is what I meant. But there you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully everything turns out good. Again, this is for Country Craft Creations, a design team project. I will link the original walkthrough below. Be sure to join Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook. There's a lot more things that happen on that channel, but you definitely want to join that group. Thanks for watching. Bye.